Hello students, today we will continue with the electrostatics portion. Today we will learn what is electric field and electric field intensity. So what is electric field and electric field intensity? If there is a charge say Q, then around this charge Q there is certain field in which if you bring the another charge it will experience some force. It will be repelled by this charge or it will be attracted by this charge. It depends on its charge, but certainly it will experience some force due to this charge. So suppose there is a charge Q, we call it as source charge. So Q is a source charge, and if we are placing another charge, say Q naught, we call it as test charge. Then there is a force acting between Q, this source charge, and Q naught, this test charge. So this field is called the electric field in which the force is experienced by another test charge. And what is electric field intensity? Electric field intensity at a point due to a source charge is defined as the electrostatic force per unit positive charge acting on a vanishingly small test charge placed at that point. So mathematically we can write it E is the electric field intensity is equal to, it is a vector quantity, so we will place a vector sign here, is equal to limit Q naught tending to 0 F upon Q naught. So the electric field intensity at this point will be equal to the force experienced by this unit positive test charge which is placed over here. The SI unit of electric field intensity is Newton per Coulomb, because from this formula we can see that the formula of electric field intensity is F upon Q naught, and the unit of F is Newton and the unit of charge is Coulomb. So the unit of electric field intensity becomes Newton per Coulomb. We can calculate the electric field intensity due to a point charge. So if this source charge is a point charge, what will be the value of electric field intensity due to this point charge at any point? So it will be E is equals to, that is the electric field due to a point charge will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, or this is what? K. This is similar as K. So 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R square and R unit vector. So this is the electric field intensity due to a point charge where Q is the source charge, that is a point charge, and R is the distance between the point charge and that point where we are calculating the electric field intensity, and small r cap is the unit vector along the direction of electric field. As we know, the force between Q and Q naught, that is the source charge and the point charge, will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught upon R square R unit vector. This is same as what we learned in the Coulomb's law. So by the formula, electric field intensity will be equal to what? Force upon Q naught. That is, force should be divided by that unit test charge at which we are calculating the electric field intensity. So this formula, this whole expression will be divided by Q naught to get the electric field intensity. When we divide this by Q naught, simply we will get K, or 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R square R unit cap. So this is the electric field intensity due to a point charge. Similarly, we can calculate the electric field intensity due to a group of charges. See here, it is the single charge, we are calling it source charge, but instead of this single charge, if we are having a number of charges, that is a group of charges like Q1, Q2 and so on up to Qn, then we can calculate the electric field intensity at any point due to all these group of charges. So how we will calculate? We can write it like E is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught summation I varies from 1 to n qi upon ri square and ri cap. So I will be vary from 1 to n if there are n charges, and ri are the distances between the various charges and the point where we are calculating the electric field. So this will be the electric field due to a group of charges. Now, the electric field lines. What are the electric field lines? They are just pictorial mapping of the electric field. We know that if there is a charge, then there is an electric field. We know it there is an electric field, but how we can represent it? To show it graphically, we used the electric field lines. So electric field lines are nothing but they are just pictorial representation of the electric field which is present over nearby a charge. So how we will define it? As electric field lines are the imaginary curves, because they are not the real line curves, they are the imaginary curves, tangent to which at each point gives the direction of electric field at that point. They are just electric field lines which will emerge or which will come into this charge. But the importance or the physical significance of these lines is that we can calculate the direction of electric field at any point on the electric field with the help of these lines. How? If there is a line, see, if it is a electric field line and we want to calculate the electric field over this point of the electric field, so how we will calculate? We will just draw a tangent at this point, and the direction of this tangent will show the direction of the electric field at this point. So this is the physical significance or the importance of the electric field line. Now, the properties of the electric field lines. There are many properties of the electric field lines. First is the electric field line starts from positive charges and end at negative charges. See, it is a positive charge, and how we will represent its electric field lines? It is a single charge only. So the direction of the electric field lines will be outwards from it, because they originate from the positive charge and they ends at the negative charge. So for a single negative charge, the electric field line directions will be inwards. They both are for the single charges. But if there is a group of charges, like I have taken here plus and minus, they are the unlike charges. So how we will draw the electric field lines? The field lines will originate from the plus charge and they will end at the negative charge. Similarly, like this, this, this. And here, as the electric field lines becomes very large, so they will be like this only. So the electric field lines always originates from the plus charge and always ends at the minus charge, negative charge. The second property is that they are the continuous curves without any breaks. See, here we have drawn the electric field lines. There is no break from at the lines. So they are the continuous curves only. The third property is two field lines can never cross each other. They are at a particular distance from each other. They will never intersect to each other. It is because if we are saying that the tangent at any point is giving us the direction of the electric field, if two electric field lines are crossing each other, it means that at this crossing point, the electric field can have two directions. If we put tangent here, this will be the electric field direction. If we put tangent here, this will be the electric field direction. So at this point, we are getting two electric field directions, which is not possible. So the two electric field lines can never cross each other. The fourth property is that they do not form any closed loops. What does it mean? That for a single magnetic pole, there is a closed loop like this, but they are not forming the closed loop. They are just originating from the one end and ending at the second end. So they are not forming the closed loops. Now, the electric dipole and dipole moment. What is an electric dipole? It is just a pair of equal and opposite point charges separated by a very small distance. It means there will be a positive charge and there will be a negative. Both these charges are point charges and they are separated by a small distance, say 2a. So this system is called an electric dipole. So the strength of the dipole, which we call as dipole moment, means the dipole moment of this dipole will be equal to p. P is the symbol of dipole moment, small p, and it is a vector quantity, will be equal to the charge of either of the two charges and multiplication of the charge of the either of the two charges and the distance between the two charges. Say this is the charge of this charge is q and this charge is minus q. Only their charges are same, only their sign is different. So here we have taken charge of either of the two charges multiplied by the distance between the two charges. This quantity becomes the electric dipole moment of the dipole. The direction of this dipole, because we are saying that this dipole moment is a vector quantity, so the direction of this dipole moment will be always from the negative charge to the positive charge. So this will be the direction of dipole moment, from negative to positive charge. From this formula, we can easily calculate the SI unit of the dipole moment. It will be equal to Coulomb into meter. Coulomb is the unit of charge and A is the distance, so the meter is the unit of distance. So the SI unit of the dipole moment is Coulomb into meter. Some examples of the dipole moment are HCl, atom of HCl, and the water molecule. So here we know that there is a single bond between H and Cl. So H is positive and Cl is negative. So plus and minus charges are separated by a small distance. Similarly, here oxygen is bonded with two hydrogen atoms. So oxygen is negative and hydrogen is positive. So this is a dipole and this is also a dipole. So these are the two examples of the electric dipoles.